Morning. I wanted to share with you Mr. Resh's upcoming DBQ essay that he's going to be introducing to you on Thursday this week. And I just wanted to show you your expectations and where to find the information to help you with this. So he's going to be assigning you this sheet right here, the modified DBQ essay. And I want to have you do, for the most part, he's going to tell you which one, but most of you are going to be doing version 3. That's what V3 stands for. It says complete the fill in the blank essay using key evidence and sources to support your claim and counterclaim. Complete the chart as shown. Write a conclusion at the end using synthesis. What you can draw now determine. And Mr. Resh did a really nice job breaking this down into what you need. So this is all on the Industrial Revolution. So for paragraph 1, needs to be your claim and 2 pieces of evidence to support your claim. And he has it all a fill in a blank for you already. So the Industrial Revolution was and he has a plus minus. So was it a positive time or a negative time in U.S. history? Now remember, you could go either way. They both can be correct answers. It's how you support it, meaning giving 2 reasons to support why it was positive or why it was negative. And in reality, there's positives and negatives. But in this paragraph, we want you to focus on only one, the positive or negative on this. So you're going to state reason 1, why it was positive or why it was negative, and then reason 2, why it was positive, why it was negative. And then make sure you support or you list the source that you got that information from. What was it, document 1, vocabulary, video, was it the music, was it all these other documents that Mr. Resh shared with you? And I'll show you where to find this information. And a lot of this you should have done on another form you have been working with Mr. Resh for. The next paragraph is dealing with a counterclaim and 1 piece of evidence. So a counterclaim is the opposite side. So, for example, say you said the Industrial Revolution was a negative time in the U.S. history. Well, the counterclaim would be why opponents or why people think it might have been a positive time. So it's the opposite of what you are speaking, why it's negative or positive. So if you said it was negative, this counterclaim has to be talking about why it's positive. If you said this was positive, the counterclaim would have to be talking about why it's negative, the opposite side. So critics or opponents use the Industrial Revolution as so you could say, whatever you said opposite here. So if you said this was positive, this would be negative here, or vice versa. Negative time in U.S. history. This is due to, and you're going to list 1 reason why the opponents or the critics say it was positive or negative, and then make sure you cite your source. So you're going to have to come up with 1 reason why the other side would think so. And then lastly, in this paragraph, all you got to do is fill in these blanks. All things considered, the Industrial Revolution was more positive or negative. So you're restating what you said up here. Is it positive or negative? Because blank outweighs the fact that blank, you're going to reinstate your negative point. So you're going to state under the because statement, you're going to list your 2 reasons. Reason 1, reason 2. Outweighs the fact that, and then you're going to list your counterclaim reason right here. And this is why the Industrial Revolution was a positive or negative period in U.S. history. So when you are copying and pasting your reasons, make sure it makes sense. It has a nice flow, that it is a complete sentence. Maybe you got to change the verb or the words, the transition a little bit to make it a sentence and make sense. So that is all that Mr. Resh is having you do for this. Fill in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3 for the modified version. Now, what I wanted to share with you is where can you find this information? Hopefully you've been working through this and you have it all available already. So I'm in Mr. Resh's Schoology page under materials. You go to the DBQ equals Industrial Revolution document-based question project folder. So you are going to click on this packet. And in this is everything you've been hopefully working on to complete. And you're going to use this information you have on here to copy and paste into the document that I just shared with you, this modified DBQ essay template. So the first step, if you haven't already, you need to complete Chapter 10 Growth and Expansion Unit. You need to take the quiz. It's either a quizzes. So if we go back, this is that assessment, Chapter 10 Growth and Expansion Assessment. If you haven't taken this from April, please do. So be sure to check the email to find out what version. Version 2 has an audio file to read the test and answer the choices for you. You can start and stop this anytime you need to. It will not match for version 1. So don't waste your time, version 1 students. All right, and here's your join my quiz and then the code. It's unlimited attempts. Go for 80% or better. Okay? And here's the version that's read aloud. Mrs. Goes did a version read aloud to you. So complete that. There's 20 questions for version 2. Let's go on to the next thing. Analyze the Industrial Revolution media sources. This is in Schoology. Pay attention to the following tasks that will complete or view together. So, Dear America, So Far From Home, Story an Irish Girl, Discovery Education, and then Vocabulary, Industrial Revolution music video. So let's take a look. So we go back to Schoology, go back to Chapter 10, Growth and Expansion. Now I'm going to go to DBQ. So what he was referring to is Industrial Revolution Media Analysis, Music and Video Evidence. You're going to click on this. So a lot of these, as long as you follow it along, you should be good, because all of these assignments are asking for the positive and negative impacts of the Industrial Revolution, just at different sources. So one's dealing with the music and vocabulary. The other one is a story of an Irish girl coming to America. So you can click on those, and you're just going to be following along and typing in your positive and negative. So if you scroll down here, here's the music video, vocabulary. What were some positive things and what are the negative things? You go down here, the video, Dear America, So Far From Home. This is that Irish girl coming to America. What were some positives? What were some negatives of the Industrial Revolution? Next part, next day he talked about the Apostate by Jack London. And he's telling you go to Schoology, Chapter 10 folder, DBQ folder. Follow along if you choose to listen to the audio file. There's also an audio version. Otherwise, you can read it. It's on page 797 to 816. He wants you to find at least 4 positives and 4 negatives of the Industrial Revolution working in factories. Step 4, interpretation and evaluation of 15 Industrial Revolution primary sources. So all of these are all going to be, so we're talking about Doc 1, Doc 2, Doc 3. You're going to see all these documents. I think there's like around 14, 15. Oh, there's more than that. So there's a total of 17 and 18 types of documents. So if we go, and what you're going to have to do on these, you're just going to write the positive and negatives. Now, some of them, these documents, are only like a paragraph long. They're not long at all. And some might say you're going to find a positive and a negative. Some might just have a positive. Some might just have a negative, and you're not going to find the other one. So, and that's okay. So just find what you have. Just go through each of the documents. In order to find that, I'm going to go back to the DBQ folder. Here's the apostate, part 1, part 2. The 15 primary sources. So this is the document, Doc 1, Doc 2, Doc 3. So if we click here, and it's going to bring this one up. So here's your document, real short. What's a positive? What's a negative out of it? Document 2, look at how short that one is. What, positive or negative? You're going to keep doing these. Most of these documents are very short. So it's basically a paragraph long for each of these. So you're going to go through each one of the documents and write down a positive and negative for each. And what we're doing is we're compiling textual evidence of pros and cons. What are some positives in the Industrial Revolution? What are negatives? And what you're going to do is you're going to use these for here. So once you have this filled out, it's just going to be copied and pasting into here. So what are some positive things that happened? Say you said the Industrial Revolution was a positive. So what are 2 reasons why it was a positive? And you can just copy and paste from here. And then the second box over here, what was the source? And you could just say document, say we got it from here. Document 16, True Teens of History. Copy and paste that into here, and you're finished with it. And then the counterclaim is the opposite. So why would they consider it a negative? So what would be one big reason why it's negative? Maybe it was bad working conditions, not safe. And what source did you find with that? So this is just building you plenty of information. All right, step 5, talk about how many paragraphs you need to write. Don't worry about that because that's dealing with, you're just going to be using this version 3. Some of you might be assigned version 2, which is very similar, just you're adding an extra reason. Okay, for both, you're going to have 3 reasons for your claim and 2 reasons for your counterclaim. Really, that's the only difference. So pretty much you're going to have version 1 or version 2 that Mr. Resch will assign to you. If we continue on, develop your outline. So in this outline, you could continue, you could use this or just go from here. But this is what you're being assessed on. This is your summative grade. So I hope that finds you in a good spot, being able to find all the information that you need and make it fun. And the Industrial Revolution is what really is a major backbone in American history. So let us know if you have any questions. Reach out to Mr. Resch, Mrs. Goes, or myself, and we can see if we can help you along the way.